Other stories making headlines, with President William Ruto likely to appoint a number of elected leaders into his cabinet in the coming days. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission finds itself forced to prepare for by-elections in a number of areas to fill up the imminent vacancies. Some of the areas where the mini polls are likely to take place include Bungoma, where already a senatorial by-election is confirmed, Garissa Township, Kiharu and Kandara constituencies, as well as Elgeyo Marakwet, barely a month after the August 9th general election. And as David Mudhoka reports, concerns have now risen over the cost and legal implications that the appointments could have amid a dwindling economy and a new administration in place.
As Kenyans look forward to the naming of the country's third cabinet under the 2010 constitution by President William Ruto in the coming days, much attention is set to be on whether the head of state will indeed appoint some of the members of parliament already linked with the CS job. As it stands, the number of elected leaders likely to cross the legislature executive aisle is 4 and includes Garissa Township MP Aden Duale, Kandara MP Alice Wahome, Kiharu MP Ndende Nyoro, as well as Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, but could go higher or lower as President Ruto faces the tough balancing act of crafting his cabinet lineup.
The truth is, I really don't know who will be in that list. I'm the member of parliament for Kandara, and should that come by way of a surprise, because then maybe I would appreciate, I would maybe say thank you very much, but for now, I'm serving as a member of parliament for Kandara.
Should all 4 make it into Ruto's cabinet, their departure from parliament is expected to trigger by-elections in their areas barely weeks after the August 9th general election. The elections will yet again be conducted by the electoral body IEBC that spent up to 44.6 billion shillings on the slightly over 14 million Kenyans who turned out to vote in August. Although the mini polls will not see IEBC spend the tens of billions again, catering by-elections for 213,000 voters in Elgeyo Marakwet, 53,000 voters in Garissa Township, 119,000 voters in Kiharu, another 105,000 voters in Kandara, as well as 646,000 voters in Bungoma, where already its Senator Moses Wetangula was made National Assembly Speaker, will surely see the Wafula Chebukati-led commission incur unprecedented expenses weeks after a general election. The imminent incurrence has since raised concerns over the need for the head of state to go for people already with jobs and further drain the drying revenue reserves instead of opting for those without jobs.
Iwapo rais anataka kuwaleta hawa karibu, wanaweza kufanya kazi nzuri, pongeni. Si lazima wawe kwenye cabinet ama wakuwe waziri katika ile nchi letu. Katika hii Kenya yetu tuko na Wakenya wengi sana ambao wamesoma, wana busara, wana elimu na wako na skills na expertise ya kuwa mawaziri.
The likely appointments of elected leaders with non-political stance into cabinet is also likely to reignite the debate on whether politicians should actually be appointed as state officers and whether, after their appointments, they should engage in politics.
The likes of Honorable Duale and Honorable Murkomen, by dint of awarding them or rewarding them with a slot of cabinet, you are in a way trying to bring them on board to it's a way of campaigning for your 2027 elections, presidential elections. It's a way of bringing on board people who will be working around with, whether it is launching projects or doing other ministerial duties, people who are so much outspoken, people who are used to the members of the public, people who can put across political messages.
To avoid the controversy, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta constituted a hybrid politician technocrat cabinet in 2013, although into the end of his tenure, most of the so-called technocrats took political sides. Whether to appoint elected leaders into his cabinet or not is clearly a dilemma for President Ruto and joins the list of the tough choices that the country's 5th president has to make in the coming weeks. David Mudhoka, KTN News, Nairobi.
Edible oil and cooking fat manufacturer Pwani Oil has responded to the Kenya Bureau of Standards